YouTube, Twink Knows Tech. Been gone for a little while, just, you know, been taking a break from doing a lot of stuff. I just had, you know, I guess, got lazy. I made a video before. It's not like I just haven't been making content, but the video I made was about how to secure next-gen systems at retail, because lately I've been, well, for a brief moment I was able to get a lot of these, which I've copped a bunch of these. I got a few of these, but mainly the PS5. I've bought probably almost 15 of these since, you know, struggling to get it from the initial launch, and I had to pay from StockX, which I'll show y'all a video, a little short glimpse of the video that I actually recorded where I had like 3 of these in hand, like right in front of me. But anyways, this is not about that. This video is actually just a brief, you know, review of each system and why I like one more than the other, or things I like over one than the next. So let's get right into it. Ironically, most people are most people are, you know, so sought after, or the most sought after system itself is the PS5, of course. Everybody wants one, everybody's drooling over one, and rightfully so. I must admit, this is my most used console, because I'll show you my setup, how I have everything set up in the living room. I'll add like a picture or something like that so you can see it. Anyways, so for the most part, all my friends have PlayStation 4 or 5. So when I'm playing Warzone and stuff, I actually use the headset, which I'll show you right now. I'm usually on my headset on the game chat with my friends or whatever, which these are some fantastic headphones. I actually tried to use wired headphones one day when these died, and I couldn't do it. I was just like, well, I'd rather have these charged for a few minutes and get back on them than to play with the regular wired headphones. It was terrible. But anyways, moving on. So I use this mainly because all my friends are on PlayStation. I really love this system, and one thing about it is I've been playing PlayStation for a long time, so I'm used to the feel of the controller, like the analog sticks and everything. These are a little dusty, look like. Anyways, I'm used to the analog sticks, and I like the triggers on this. Not really the actual triggers. I don't really care about. I don't use L2 and R2 when I'm playing like shooting games. I use L1 and R1 because that's just how I remember it on PlayStation 3. So I'm used to it like that. So I always flip my controls. So I use these to shoot. So I'm really good with this controller. But yeah, besides that, I don't really care about all the other features like the haptic. Well, the haptic is pretty cool, but the actual like triggers and stuff, that's not really like, I mean, it's cool, but a lot of people find it real strange. Like, I let my girlfriend use it, she turned it off. Like, she was like, I can't play with this, I don't like this. She really doesn't like the PS5 controller. She likes the PS4 controller over the 5, which I understand, because that was one of my favorite controllers. And this one's kind of dirty, actually, now that I look at it. I need to wipe this down. Anyways, I got a brand new PS5 controller over there on the stand. You'll be able to see that in the picture. But anyways, back to moving on to this. Now, I do like it because all my friends are on PS5, and it makes it easier for me to, you know, connect with them and play the games. But one thing I must say, oh, and the Wi-Fi is better on this. And like, if you're not running Ethernet, which I run all my systems Ethernet except for this one, and I'll get to that in a point. I'll get to that point in a second. But with the PS5, it's like, it's good, but it's bad, because that 825 gigs really starts to show itself when you're downloading like Call of Duty and stuff. Because the other day we had a big update. I think it was Season 2 Reloaded for Warzone and Call of Duty, and I had 100 and something gigs available for this, but it told me I didn't have enough space because the PS5 doesn't know how to not download the PS4 version of the game for some odd reason. So it constantly is doubling up on your space. So that's not the only. I'm not the only one that experienced that. My friend Darius went through the same thing. My bad. My PlayStation's kind of dusty. I ain't cleaned it or whatever. Anyways, yeah. So like the storage is a real big issue with me for this machine, because it's like 825 gigs isn't 825 gigs. It don't feel like it, because even if you got 100 gigs and you're trying to download something that's like 50 or 60, it'll tell you it's not enough space. Then you got to go through it, or give you an error when you're trying to download an update or something like that. So it's kind of annoying. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for the PlayStation 5 right now. Moving on to the Series X. Now, I'm pretty ashamed to say this. Like, I love this system, but because of the fact that all my friends are on PlayStation, it's hard for me to actually play this system, because this sits in the living room right next to my PlayStation 5. So when I'm getting on a game, what I need to start doing, I like this because of the backwards compatibility, but what I need to start doing is, when I buy a game for Xbox, I literally need to buy the physical copy, so I'm forced to play it on here. Because downside of having both of these is if I buy a game digitally, I can play it on either one. So that usually turns out to be the case. But I do love this system because it has the most storage. So the other day when I was downloading the update, I thought I was like, okay, PlayStation ain't got enough storage. I know this does because it had like 300 something gigs available, which I do have Call of Duty for both of these. I bought them for both systems or whatever. So technically all three of these I can play Call of Duty on. But yeah, like this got a lot of storage and stuff. But when I'm in the living room, it's like every day the only game I'm really playing. I don't even really play anything else on here besides like Warzone or Call of Duty because my girlfriend plays Call of Duty. So if I ain't playing Warzone, she'll hit me up like, hey, let's get on a gunfight or whatever on Call of Duty. So whatever the case may be. Go ahead and set this back up. So I'm usually never on my Xbox Series X. I do play Xbox, but I don't play this one in particular because if I'm playing Call of Duty, I'm always on this one. But I must say, as far as playing Call of Duty, I really love this controller. It's just something about the analog sticks that I'm just a little bit more better with the PlayStation controller, but I'm still really good with this Xbox Elite controller. And it's probably just this controller just because of the customization aspect of it. Like you could adjust the tension on the thumbsticks. You could remap buttons to the back, which I really love. I'm really waiting on them to make that for the PlayStation 5 controller because when I'm playing Warzone and I want to ping something, it sucks not having these buttons on the back, so I don't got to take my fingers off of where I'm aiming at and shooting at. So really hope PlayStation hurry up to make a back button attachment for that. But this controller is amazing. Like I literally got rid of this controller. Like, this is if y'all don't know, this is a $180 controller. And when I bought my Series X, it came as a bundle. And I actually got rid of it because I wasn't accustomed to this. I wasn't really accustomed to Xbox, and I was trying to find an excuse. So I thought I was better with this controller. So I got rid of this one. Then I realized I was like, I ain't better with that controller. So I went and bought this one again. So I shot myself in the foot. I got rid of this prematurely, and I ended up buying it again. So I spent another $180 to get it. But I love this controller. And the battery life on this is amazing. People always talk about Xbox having batteries, but this one is built-in battery, and it's way longer than that one. Speaking of which, let me go back on the PlayStation. PlayStation 5 controller, as far as battery life, sucks, along with their headset. Like, I probably could get like a good day, maybe 2 days of use before they're dead. Like, I hate that. This controller right here, I can play this thing for about a month straight without it dying. I don't even remember the last time I charged it, but I'm pretty sure it's still more than halfway charged because I actually do use this controller a lot. But yeah, so my downside on the Series X is it sits too close to my PlayStation 5, and I play the same games on it, so I usually go to the PlayStation 5 just because of where everybody else is on. I don't know, it's just like a preference. But this is a good system, and I'm not knocking it at all. I'm gonna start buying more games directly for this. One thing I do like about it is I have Black Ops 2, which, I mean, that's like the best Call of Duty, in my opinion. Like, I mean, it's not even just my opinion. My friends think the same thing. It's probably the most funnest Call of Duty, if it ain't a bunch of hackers in your lobby. So occasionally, you know what I'm saying, when my friends come over, we'll play that on here because, I mean, you can't really play it on here unless you buy it digitally, and that's just too much. I paid like $10 for Black Ops 2. But yeah, it's fun as hell. Love playing it on here. But that's the main aspect of this, backwards compatibility. You can go to like a secondhand game store, which I got one right up the street, and I buy old disc games for Xbox and Xbox 360, and they work fine, perfectly on here. So yeah, so that's what I love about the Series X. That's probably why I won't ever get rid of it. And just look at it. I mean, speaking of which, my girlfriend bought me this skin for Christmas. This, you know, I'm a Ravens fan, so she bought me this skin, which is pretty dope. I love it, and it makes my Xbox look like way better. I mean, it looks way better than this thing, in my opinion. All right, last but not least, though, the Series S. Now, ironically, I probably play my Series S just as much as I use this because on the weekends, I'm never home. So on the weekends, I usually just grab this. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the controllers right now. I usually grab this, put it in my book bag, and I'm out the door, and I go to my friend's house. And yeah, so when we're playing Warzone, like I said, I got Warzone on here. I got a Black Ops Cold War on here, and a few other games from Game Pass, of course, because this is all digital. So that's why I buy the games digitally, so I can have them on both systems if I want to. This one stays in my room, so when I'm done playing on this, I usually go in the room and I'm playing on my Xbox if I'm playing a game. Or Saturday mornings like today, I will wake up and my girlfriend will be like, yeah, let's get on the game. So I'll jump on, play on the Series S because I don't feel like getting in the living room yet. And yeah, so stuff like that. And like, for instance, the reason I like the Series S so much is I use it every day for like my YouTube and my just consumption basis in the room when I'm not in the living room. So the other day, Call of Duty had a big update, so this one was out of commission. Couldn't play on the PS5. It had like 2 hours before I can get on there. So I'm like, oh, okay, my Series X got a lot of storage. I know it's gonna have it downloaded. I get on there, it didn't have it downloaded, which I'm kind of glad for because I almost maxed out my internet. It was like the last day of the month. I wasn't trying to get charged extra for that. Anyways, so this didn't have it installed yet. So I'm like, man, I ain't even gonna be able to play Call of Duty. My girlfriend's laughing at me. She's laughing at me already from this. And then I told her, I was like, well, I got the Series X. And I got on here and she seen it wasn't working on there. So she was really laughing. And I was like, oh, I got one more ace in the hole. I went in there, Series S had it ready to go. Got on there and I was able to play for like an hour or so on there. Which the graphics don't look as good on here, but it was fine for the moment. You know, I'm used to playing on it. So I played on there for about an hour. And then when this finally installed, I switched over and came in the living room and played on this because I was talking out. The reason I don't like playing on these is because I can't really communicate with my friends well. I usually use the PlayStation app with my AirPods, but that doesn't help me with the audio of like, you know, where people are at when you're running around and stuff. So I kind of like stay away from that. So when the minute I can get off the Xboxes, I usually get back on the PlayStation because, like I said, I got the Pulse 3D headset. This thing is amazing. Like I love this headset. My only downside about this is, I used to didn't like the tightness of the band around my head. Because if I got a headache, it kind of doesn't help the issue because it's squeezing my head so much. But these things are good at like noise cancellation and directional sound, and just the sound quality in general sounds amazing. And for this to only be $100 is pretty good. But anyways, it's not about this. Moving back on. Downside of the Series S, storage. Like I'm maxed out on storage. Once you got Call of Duty and Warzone, the only good side is they don't really, because it's not a 4K device, they don't try to oversaturate you with all the skins and textures and stuff because it doesn't really apply. So the file sizes aren't as large as they are on these two systems because, like I said, it's 1080p. So, you know what I'm saying? The games are smaller, but they still take up a lot of space. It's not that much smaller, but they're optimized more for this system because they know it doesn't need that much power. And yeah, beyond that, I love the Series S. Probably more than the Series X, but I love the Series X because of the backwards compatibility. And, you know, when I do want to get on there and play an old game, this is the one that I go to. If I do need to download a big game, this is where it's going to be at. Especially for Xbox. Like Halo, this thing is either Halo or Call of Duty for this thing. Beyond that, it's not going to happen. This one can fit everything on there. It's got 800 gigs out of the box. 805, I think. But yeah, so it's got the most storage. It's the most, let me reiterate this. When playing Call of Duty, in my opinion, this is the best looking game. It looks better than the PlayStation 5 on Warzone. Because I played Cold War, it looks pretty the same on all three of these. So they really did a good job of optimizing even the Series S. Because all three of these look the exact same on Cold War. But Warzone, this is the best looking system. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, this thing looks amazing. Couple of that with this controller, especially when you tweak it how you want to, it's really good for pairing. So that'll probably be my ideal setup. Like if I didn't really care, if I didn't have a preference about where my friends were at and stuff like that, or what they're playing on, this would probably be the ideal setup. So as far as Warzone, this is the best system, this is the second best, and this is the third. And this is really, really amazing because of just the convenience aspect. But yeah, beyond that, it's a quick little comparison pretty much. I mean, just my opinions of what I experienced and me having these systems. I had these since probably December. I think I had both of these since, I probably had this one in November, this one early December, and this one early January. So I had these since almost launch. But yeah, PS5 is amazing. I love it, but it's not the best. Like, you could get either one of these and be pretty satisfied, except for this one. Like, this one, I wouldn't say you'll be satisfied if you don't have any other system. If you don't have any other system, this isn't going to be that appealing to you. But if you don't really care about having disc, then yeah, this isn't a bad option, especially if you don't have a 1080p, a 4K TV, because initially I didn't have a 4K TV when I had this, and right now in my room I keep this one in the room versus this one because I don't have a 1080p in my room. So I have a 1080p TV in my room, so this one works perfect for it and it looks good for it. These sit next to my 4K TV in the living room, which I'm gonna show y'all a picture of that. But yeah, so that's pretty much the rundown. If I was ranking these systems, the most powerful would be the Series X. The best looking as far as user interface would be the PS5, because this is like, I never had an Xbox One, but from what I've seen, it's pretty bland. Like just the layout and everything of the apps, it's pretty like, you know, cut and dry. Like it's pretty simple. Like nothing really special about it. This looks actually cool when you're on it, and it just feels more like next gen than these do. But these are still next gen systems because they still work really fast and they're really efficient and quiet. I meant to say something about that. All these machines is whisper quiet. Like I don't hear these things at all when they're running. And as long as you don't have a disc in either one of these, you're not gonna hear anything, in my opinion. I mean, I never hear it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I love all three of these systems. I won't get rid of any of these. But last but not least, I'm gonna go. I forgot to say this. I kind of jumped the gun on that. But I'm gonna rank the controllers from my least to favorite. My favorite controller is this one, to be honest. Like, I wish they had this for PlayStation 5, just like how the customization and everything you can tweak about it. Like you could adjust the trigger pulls and stuff like that. I love this controller. And the hardware, it's not just the hardware aspect of it. They got the software to where you could change the trigger sensitivity and stuff like that. I love this controller. So this is probably the best controller out of the three. This is probably the most innovative because of the haptics and everything. So it's pretty cool, but like I said, battery life really kills this for me. And like I said, everybody's not going to be accustomed to that. Triggers and everything, adaptive triggers. My girlfriend hates it. Like she doesn't even want the PS5 no more because of the controller. So she'll get used to it, but you know, for the time being, she's not used to that. She doesn't like that. And then the worst controller of all. Like this thing feels good in the hand, but it feels the cheapest in my opinion. And of course, it still takes batteries, which I have battery packs for it. But I can't play with this. Like Call of Duty wise, I won't even try. Like I'll get killed every time. I can't use a regular Xbox controller, and that's just probably my opinion because I ain't used to it. But because this one's so customizable, it gives me a pass as far as using Xbox because I got plenty of snipe clips from Warzone and stuff like that. So I'm pretty good with this one. So I'm best with this controller. I'm almost as good as I am with this one, with that one, and I'm not good at all with that one. But yeah, that's pretty much the rundown. Thanks for watching. I know it took me a long time to upload a new video. I've just been all over the place. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get this one uploaded by tomorrow night. And yeah, Twink Nose Tech.